Welcome to The Explainer, everyone. Today we're diving into the fascinating, multifaceted evolution of a guy who was literally born into cinematic royalty, but still had to forge his own path in blood, sweat, and massive box office receipts to become a global icon. We're talking, of course, about the one and only Ram Charan. We're going to trace exactly how he navigated the monumental expectations of his family name, the astronomical highs of his massive successes, the sobering realities of his failures, and how he strategically built an empire that extends way beyond the silver screen. Okay, let's dive right into this.
So check this out. The Oscars are an Olympic gold medal equivalent for us. When Ram Charan was out in Los Angeles, reflecting on that historic Academy Award win for the song Nadu Nadu, he didn't just frame it as a personal win. He didn't even frame it as just a cinematic victory. He framed it as a moment of profound national pride. He literally equated it to an Indian sportsperson holding up a gold medal on the world stage. It's honestly the perfect hook for our journey today because it shows exactly how he views his role in bringing Indian cinema to a truly global audience.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with number 1, early life and legacy. 2, breakthrough to Tollywood superstar. 3, the global phenomenon that is RRR. 4, navigating setbacks and future. 5, building a business empire. And finally, 6, personal life and philanthropy.
Section 1. Early life and legacy. Right off the bat, we need to acknowledge the legacy. Ram Charan is the son of megastar Chiranjeevi, who is unarguably one of the most celebrated figures in Telugu cinema. We're talking a career spanning over 4 decades and 150 films. Now, you might assume he had it easy, right? Well, the sources actually tell a very different story. Obviously, his family name was a massive advantage in getting his foot in the door, for sure. But carving out his own identity as a credible, respected actor, that took genuine struggle. The comparisons to his father were heavy, and they were immediate. Audiences didn't just want to blindly accept him because of his last name. They demanded he prove it.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the stark contrast between his glamorous background and his surprisingly grounded reality. Chiranjeevi purposely shielded his kids from the intoxicating glamour of the film industry. He just didn't want them to take success for granted or assume it would all come easy. And Ram Charan totally credits this normal, disciplined upbringing for his ability to handle his life today. I love this. He even joked that it's the reason he can still pay his monthly loan EMIs and keep things moving forward.
Section 2. Breakthrough to Tollywood superstar.
His meteoric rise definitely didn't happen overnight, but man, it was incredibly impactful when it did. He debuted in 2007 with Chirutha, and that actually earned him a Filmfare Award for Best Male Debut. People instantly noticed his screen presence and action skills. But 2009 was the real game changer with Magadheera, directed by S.S. Rajamouli. That one became the highest-grossing Telugu film of its time. Fast forward to 2018, and we see what is largely considered his career-defining performance in Rangasthalam. It just proved his profound evolution over what is now an 18-year career.
What's really fascinating is looking at these two huge milestones side by side. Take Magadheera, right? It's a sprawling fantasy epic where he played a reincarnated warrior, complete with dual roles and intense action sequences. It grossed a historic 150 crore rupees. Compare that to Rangasthalam. Here, he plays a partially deaf man in this incredibly raw, grounded village drama. This wasn't about looking polished. It was all about deep acting range, and it grossed 220 crore rupees. It perfectly illustrates his versatility. He totally refused to be boxed into just one single genre.
Section 3. The global phenomenon, RRR.
Okay, I just want to let that staggering number sink in for a moment. R's 1,200 crore. That is the worldwide box office collection for RRR. Teaming up once again with director S.S. Rajamouli, this film just shattered boundaries. It achieved a scale of commercial success that firmly, undeniably placed Indian cinema right in the global spotlight.
In RRR, Ram Charan took on the role of the freedom fighter Aluya Sitarama Raju. And wow, it was an incredibly demanding performance, emotionally grounded, yet packed with these wild, physics-defying action sequences. But this film didn't just break the box office. It brought international critical acclaim, ultimately culminating in that historic Academy Award win for the song Natu Natu. It was literally the realization of an 85-year dream for the Indian movie industry, finally recognized on the ultimate world platform.
Section 4. Navigating setbacks and future.
Of course, the reality of a nearly two-decade career in cinema is that failure is, well, inevitable. Alongside those monumental industry-defining highs we just talked about, there were highly anticipated, massive budget projects that just totally failed to connect with audiences. His Bollywood debut Zanjeer, the highly hyped Bruce Lee the Fighter, and most recently the Rs 500 crore political action drama Game Changer. But what makes Ram Charan's career remarkable isn't some magical absence of failure. It's his documented ability to absorb massive box office disasters and bounce back even stronger.
He actually spoke incredibly candidly recently about the failure of Game Changer, admitting that, yeah, these setbacks do pull us back and they hurt. So the crucial point is how he mentally processes that pain. He literally treats acting like an 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. job. Once the day is done, he leaves the massive star persona on the set. He doesn't let the intoxicating highs or the crushing lows define his entire existence. It's a remarkably pragmatic approach for someone dealing with his level of fame.
And you can see that resilience crystal clear when we look at his immediate timeline. Following that global peak in 2022 and the tough stumble in 2025, he's already pivoting to the future. June 2026 is going to see the release of Pity, directed by Buchi Babusana. He's taking on an entirely new avatar as a rugged cricketer in a sports action drama. The buzz is already massive, which just proves his audience is always ready for his next reinvention.
Section 5. Building a business empire. Now, this data point is honestly just as awe-inspiring as his box office numbers. His estimated net worth stands at over 1,370 crore rupees. This proves that Ram Charan isn't just a heavyweight in the world of entertainment, he is a formidable presence in the business world, applying that exact same discipline he uses on set to his financial portfolio.
And this brilliantly illustrates his strategic diversification beyond cinema. He launched Kannadela Production Company to back massive projects, and later V Mega Pictures to encourage new talent. But it definitely doesn't stop at film. He turned a passion for horses into the Hyderabad Polo Riding Club. He ventured into aviation, yes, aviation, by launching the regional airline TrueJet. He's a co-owner of the Devil's Circuit Obstacle Running Series and holds major investments in healthcare, specifically Apollo Hospitals, alongside various startups. He truly lives by the philosophy of never, ever depending on a single income stream.
Section 6. Personal life and philanthropy.
Let's shift gears to his life off-screen. In 2012, he married Upasana Kamini Konidela, creating what can really only be described as a power couple. Upasana is a formidable force herself. She's a third-generation entrepreneur, the founder of the wellness platform URL Life, and the vice chairperson of corporate social responsibility at Apollo Hospitals Group. Together, they perfectly bridge the worlds of high-profile cinematic influence and serious, impactful healthcare philanthropy.
One of the absolute most fascinating examples of this philanthropic crossover is the Ram Charan Mega Blood Donation Initiative. Instead of just organizing your typical fan meetups for his birthday, he and his team have channeled his immense fandom into a massive life-saving humanitarian movement. Thousands of fans across India and internationally unite to donate blood, operating under this really beautiful motto, "One life saved equals one true tribute." It's an absolute masterclass in utilizing celebrity influence for tangible social good.
Behind all the massive numbers and international awards is a man who relies heavily on personal discipline. He's deeply grounded in family values, largely thanks to that upbringing we talked about. For 15 years, he has religiously observed the Ayyappa Diksha. That's a rigorous 41-day period of strict spiritual fasting and austerity, which is a massive testament to his spiritual grounding amidst unimaginable fame. And his personal life continues to blossom. In early 2026, he and Upasana actually welcomed twins, a son named Shivram and a daughter named Anvir Devi, joining their elder daughter Shavagata. Which brings us to our final slide, and a question I really want to leave you with today. When we look back at the complete story of Ram Charan, the meteoric rises, the painful setbacks, the disciplined comebacks, and the vast empire he's built, is his ultimate legacy defined by the record-breaking characters he brings to life on the silver screen, or is it defined by the real lives he touches through his expansive business ventures and his massive philanthropic movements? That's the mark of a true game changer. Thanks for joining me on this explainer. I'll see you all next time.